There's a lot of mystique around orgasms. And what I found when I talk with couples in my office is many times they repeat things that aren't true. In fact, I bet many of us have a lot of myths that we've heard, and maybe we believe some of those are true or some of those aren't. Today, I'm going to give you several myths that are pretty common out there. And I'm talking about this because people get so upset if they can't orgasm or if they think they're orgasming wrong, or it just creates problems in intimacy and sex, and they don't talk to others. They may talk to a best friend, but many times they don't talk to their partner, and they won't talk to their doctor. I'm going to encourage you to go to your doctor. Start out with your well doctor, and then you might need a urologist or an OBGYN specializing in sexual dysfunction, and then they can help refer you to a sexual dysfunction therapist. There's all sorts of different treatments we can use, but we can't use them if we don't know why you need them. And nobody can know you unless you speak up. Take your sexual health seriously. So let's go through these myths. The first one: everyone has an orgasm when they have sex. That is totally untrue. Many times, for the most part, many women never have an orgasm, and they have never had one in their life. So when people say that, they promote things that people feel pressured to fake an orgasm or do something to appear normal. It's not normal to have one every time. And in fact, I dare say that women don't orgasm every time, and much less than men do. Secondly, there's only one kind of orgasm. It is true you're the one having the orgasm, but with every experience, it can feel different. And not only that, it feels different as you change, as your body changes, your hormones, your weight. If you get pregnant, if you have a baby, or if you have a major surgery, it's going to change how you orgasm after. There's something wrong with them if you can't achieve an orgasm or climax. This is not true. There is something different going on. And I think in this situation, what I do is I promote heavily that you go to your doctor. And the reason is because I work with this. And I know how important it is when people come in and see a physician, and then they get referred to me, and we can talk about it. There's many treatments you can do, many medications you can take that are going to help you orgasm if you've never had one before. If you or your partner don't have an orgasm at the same time, there's something wrong with your sex life. Come on, that is not true. In fact, most of the time, one of the partners does delay orgasming for the other one, or there's oftentimes a difference in when people orgasm. I would say it's so highly unlikely that if you orgasm at the same time that you're very fortunate, but don't make that your mission or your goal for the next time. If you have a vagina, you should be able to have multiple orgasms. Untrue. Everybody orgasms differently. It depends on your brain, it depends on your hormones, and it depends on your spinal column, because those three aspects of orgasms are what makes or breaks an orgasm. Using protection will ruin your chance of having an orgasm. This isn't true at all. And if anybody tells you that, it does numb some of the feeling for men, but it doesn't prevent you from having an orgasm, and it shouldn't change that. You can still do those things, enjoy sex, and protect your partner. All orgasms feel the same to everyone. This isn't true either. Everyone will tell you a different story of how it feels, what they were thinking, and why they want to have more of them. If people stop wanting to have them, then that's indicative that something's going on medically, hormonally, or maybe with a disease process, or something going on in the relationship with their ability to communicate and resolve issues. And that's why, if you don't want it at all, it's a good idea to start out with a urologist or OBGYN, and then seek therapy for help in the area you need. If you use sex toys too often, it can desensitize your genitals and make it difficult to achieve orgasm. This really isn't true, but it is complicated, because if you get used to doing a vibrator, for example, just the rhythm from that, the sound, all of the cues, the vibration can make regular sex less exciting. So if you get nervous about that, just take a week off. However, using a sex toy is not going to make you dependent on the sex toy for orgasms in the future. And lastly, experts know everything there is about orgasms. This isn't true. I can tell you as an expert, they're finding out things all the time. For example, the O-Shot is relatively new, and that it helps women have an orgasm. It's timed, so you have to do it at the right time. You have to have the orgasm or be in a place where you can have sex within that time limit, but it is almost guaranteed. What's important we understand is orgasm, climax are exactly like the whole process of sex. You never stop growing, you never stop changing, and that's why if you cannot achieve an orgasm today, don't worry. Doesn't mean that's going to be your life. It just means you need to take care of it. You need to go to the doctor. You need to take responsibility and get help with it, because sex is part of a healthy person's life. Sexuality is part of our body, and if sexuality isn't working well, something else in our body is not regulated well, and so it's important to take care of it.